What it do? Yo, man, listen. New character, PogChamp, new character, PogChamp. I'm not gonna yap too much. Let's get right into the replay. Mid-video, what it do? Let's get right into the replay. So, Lucien is the third Blood Angels character coming to Tacticus. He's a Death Company intercessor. The Death Company is essentially when Blood Angels lose themselves in battle, they start having visions of the Horus heresy. They start seeing themselves as Sanguinius in his battle against the arch traitor Horus Lupercal. They start thinking everyone is Horus and they like go berserk. The way they work in like lore and stuff is when they fall to Black Rage, they get put in the Death Company, and Death Company just unleashes them upon the Emperor's enemies, and they do a lot of damage. They're pretty good. So, because he's a Marine, he has 2300 armor, 9100 health, he has 3 movement. It's 4 now because of his rapid assault trait. So he's pretty, run of the mill. He has almost 2900 damage. This seems good at first until you realize he has physical for his melee attack. He has 4 hits, that's pretty good, but 1% pierce is less good. And for his range, he actually has 15% pierce with blast. 3 hits, it's not great. However, because of the blast damage, it actually works against swarms and 2-man units, such as the... I don't know what Chaos 2-man units there are. I don't think there are any Chaos 2-man units. So it kind of doesn't matter for legendary releasements. Anyways, it's still good against swarms. For his traits, as I mentioned, he has Rapid Assault, he has Resilient, and he has Unstoppable. Resilient combos really well with his active ability, which is Black Rage. If Lucien has not moved, similar to Ragnar Blackmane, he's set to 50% health. He then immediately charges a targeted enemy in movement range and performs a normal melee attack. For this attack, and until the end of the battle, Lucien has +1 movement and deals +1000 damage when charging. Additionally, Lucien can no longer be controlled for the rest of the battle and moves and attacks automatically at the beginning of his turn. So, oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm really winded, goodness. So this has 3 parts. The first part is his health being set at 50%. Now, set is a very important word because it doesn't lower his health to 50%. If he's at 1 health, say from the resilient trait, he actually goes up to 50%. If he's at 100%, he goes down to 50%. So no matter where he's at, he goes to 50%. You can use this to your advantage and not use his active ability until he's, very low, and then use his active as some sort of a healing mechanism. He gets +1 movement, deals additional damage, that's pretty good. The last part, you can no longer control him. Essentially, he becomes a summon, but he's not technically a summon. I'll explain what that means further in the video. His passive, Visions of Heresy, it's very similar to Reva's passive ability. After performing a normal attack, Lucien attacks an additional time, dealing 2x bolter damage to an enemy within 2 hexes, preferring kills. If Lucien is at or below 50% health, all of his attacks have +20% pierce ratio. So this also combos really well with his Black Rage ability. These 2 hits can crit because it doesn't have the line of text that excludes it from critting. And all of his attacks includes his passive as well. So his bolter goes up to 40%. Here, his ranged attack goes up to 35%, and his melee attack goes up to 21%. This is pretty good. It's cool. So our test dummy will be the Silent King, because he does summon things. So we'll just move things up, nothing crazy. Like this, and then we'll put this guy here. Okay, perfect. Less perfect. This is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. And we're just gonna wait here for him to come down. Maybe he'll come down. That's fine, okay. So, what I want to show you is there's a guy here. There's a death mark. Unlike the Reva's passive, his extra hits can split. So what do I mean by this? Actually, here's go. I am going to attack the death mark and see what happens. I attack him, and then the passive goes here. And the passive did 4,000 damage. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, Draupnir, it's because Calgar boosted it, and he has 4,000 damage stat. I just want to correct you real quick. I don't need to correct you. I don't need to correct you. My viewers, they know how it works. They know. Anyways, so that was because these passive hits, they have their own damage stats, so they don't benefit from Calgar's boost. They also don't benefit from Athena's boost because they boost the damage stat. However, they do benefit from Athena's crit part and Eldrion's extra damage taken. So I'm actually going to lock this guy in because I don't want him moving around. And so we show that. Okay, these explode, cool. So when he moves into range, his passive is not only limited to his ranged attack. So look, I attack, and then he attacks again. So that, the bolter is pretty good. I like it. We'll move it here, and we'll pass turn. Okay, he summoned a lot of things. It's fine. So what I want to show you is I will use his active ability now. So remember, he's at essentially full health. So when I use the active ability, and I can select a target, I'm going to select... So he does have to charge, so I can't select the Silent King in the death mark that he's next to. So I have to select a different enemy. There's a cool animation. He gets a little buff. So this buff, this X, indicates that he has +1 movement. He deals extra damage when charging, and he can no longer be controlled. So I'm going to show you one last thing about this character, and then we'll be on our way. I'm going to summon here, and watch very carefully. This is a summon. Lucien is not a summon. He acts like a summon, but he's not. And why this matters is when I pass a turn, the Necrons take their turn, and look what happens. Lucien moved before the summon. Now, this might seem insignificant, however, this does matter, so he is less likely to get clogged up by your own summons. You essentially guarantee he always takes a turn, because oftentimes summons will move first. For example, one of the reasons the Guard's Machine of War is not very desired is because the summons move before your normal characters and they seize high ground. Maybe they lock your characters out of shooting and whatnot. Lucien does not have any such problem because he moves before other characters. And when he is at, he's at 50%, so now he has extra pierce, so he does more damage. He's very good. How I would recommend you use him is, if you're in PvP, you use this right away. Or I mean right away, as in before killing an enemy unit. Because he has 4 movement base, and when you use the Black Rage ability, Unstoppable and 5 movement, it goes very far. He does have a ranged attack, so he's not as good with Ragnar Blackmane. However, with On-Shi, this thing can move 6 hexes and does a world of hurt. So he's pretty good. The extra damage, it really adds up with the 4 hits if you can get into melee. Other than that, if you're using him in War or if you're using him in Legendary Release events and whatnot, I would suggest you just use him to the end until he procs his Resilient trait and is at 1 health, and then you use the Black Rage to get him to 50% health. So essentially he gains health. Anyways, that's the little demonstration, a little bit of gameplay I show you. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll give it back to normal video Draupnir now. And we are back. So, what's my verdict? I don't think this character is very much raid viable. He's more of a PvP character. However, despite this, I find him extremely fun to play. And some will argue that being fun to play is the single most important quality in a video game, right? Anyways, I think this is a W character. Personally, I'm very excited for him. Thank you very much for watching the video. Special thanks to Dieselfox, Papajon, Lita Lama, Sarp, Heartswept, Askeleon, Yeris, Bruce McSloop, Proson, Infinite Power, Uzalt F4, Cinnamon Prophet, I Na Hey, Karn, Mara, Player 8387, Ibikit, Sand Memoriam, and Coder94 for entering my refer friend code. It genuinely means a lot to me. It's in the middle of the screen. If you want to enter it, you get 100 Blackstone shards. It's a great way to support the channel, and it means a lot to me. So, once again, thank you very much for watching the video. Have a good day, and stay safe.